computer smarter in that sense, because you're creating scenarios, and then you're creating scenarios on top of that. Obviously, making humans smarter. I love Sadi, your example about a lot of these routine tasks and productivity. Techstars actually has a portfolio company called DocuFi that does exactly that, right? It's creating sort of sims and other presentations a lot easier than a lot of the manual work that analysts are spending a lot of time doing. So I would say it's both, of course.
So I want to be a little controversial and ask you: is it making humans dumber?
Actually, that's a really. So what is that movie, WALL-E? Do you remember it?
WALL-E, yeah.
Is it WALL-E where people sit and they're sipping a Slurpee? Is that the movie? Yes.
Right. Yeah.
There is a scenario where sometimes it's in the back of my head, and I think if everything is so easy, I have children. I have a 10 and a 12-year-old, and we often say, when I was your age, we didn't have this, we didn't have that, and you had to do more work in order to get very simple things done. And so, what you're saying is not. It's not an outsized case, right? Because now it's so much easier to do things with ChatGPT. You don't learn the fundamentals. I was speaking with a lawyer friend of mine, and there's so many tools now to help people in the legal profession do research, right? And it takes away from the learning of the very junior lawyers who then don't get to do the research and the case study and understand the nuances of a case. So potentially, yes.
But that's true of every technology, right? If you wind the clock back a few thousand years, the hunter-gatherer knew how to survive 30, knew how to self-medicate, how to, which mushrooms were poisonous. Do we know any of that stuff? No. So are we dumber than the hunter-gatherer? Probably not, right? So I think the idea is that, as these technologies happen, what is smart changes, and how you apply your smarts changes.
Hold on. Up till now, humans are still in charge of critical thinking. Machines and technology was about speeding things up, not necessarily thinking, right?
Let me give you one example. There used to be a huge industry of consumer underwriters who used to make judgmental decisions on whom to lend to or not. We don't use any of them. We use predictive AI, not generative AI, but predictive AI has taken away weather forecasting, right?
So explain for the audience. Explain the difference: predictive versus generative.
Well, it's not a black and white line, but predictive AI is old style AI, which is kind of out of fashion, but where I think there's still a ton of value to be had. And these are typically things which actually give you a probabilistic answer back. So it says, what is the likelihood of something happening, and it'll give you an answer between 0 and 1. That's basically what a predictive AI does. It does not generate text, or if it generates text, it will generate text out of a set of predetermined text solutions where, again, based on that probabilistic outcome, it says, most likely this person is asking me this question, this is the answer I have to give. So that's I guess the difference. The reason people kind of like predictive AI a bit more is that it's controllable. It doesn't have hallucinate because you have given it the data, you know exactly what data you have been able to give. And while it's not entirely explainable, it's still black box. Because you have more control on the data you've given it, and because it's also only generating a probability back, you can really investigate the model with a greater degree of precision. And that's why financial services has been using predictive AI for a long time and has taken away a lot of critical thinking. I would agree that yes, this will take away critical thinking for a lot of people, but also I think forces us to critically think around what are the right questions to ask. Would this model have had the right exposure or not? And you are also right, as a lot of us will not do that.
So let's ask John that, because John, you're coming from a different place, right? Yes. Is it, again, same question, but a different thing. Is it going to diminish critical thinking, or how do we use it to enhance critical thinking?
Sometimes I argue with myself. It's a
sometimes.
It's a good thing. Sometimes I think it's this way, sometimes that way. AGI, generally speaking, my true opinion is that generative AI, it's good just for now. However, it could create some real problems. Like if you say, like I said, okay, it can help people to do simple things. Okay, which means that we may not hire college graduates to do simple stuff because their job, a lot of them may not be as good as I rely on ChatGPT. That's very true. In my own work experience, I would rather just ask questions to Microsoft Copilot.
Wait, hold on. So I'm not going to hire